Hello, my crazy audiophile friends. I present you the IFI, DSD, Micro, Zen, ICANN, Neo. I present you the IFI Refer ICANN. I present you Zen DSD. That's better. Present you IFI Micro. Present you Micro Signature iDSD. Okay, I'm gonna try to overdub my own videos here. It's a little bit easier than typing. Typing sucks, especially with one finger. So I hope you don't mind, and it probably looks to you like a foreign documentary. I want IFI to please find out, decide what you're gonna do with the names. Use names, use words. You know, vegetables, fruits, institutions, cities, buildings. Do like DCS. They use composer names. Rossini, Elgar. Or maybe you have to find names they haven't used yet. Another version of another product that maybe you already know from IFI. There's a nano version. There's also the Zen ICANN, and which I haven't tried yet, but it's very good apparently. There's also the DAC, the Zen DAC, and then there's a little one that I can't remember, that is cheaper, and it's supposed to be sort of similar to this one but smaller, and it's very portable in your pocket. They say it's very good. I don't know it either. This is the one I have, so I have to focus. iDSD signature. It looks amazing. Presentation is incredible. Blue anodized aluminum. It's got a million things written on it that tells you all the specifications. Full-fledged capacity MQA. They stole the turbo signs from Porsche. I hope they don't sue them. Although maybe IFI should make a sound system for Porsche. That would be great. Well, for those who can afford it. The format is similar to other IFI products that have the micro denomination. I'm not crazy about this format, especially on the phono preamps, because there are cables going in front and the back. In this case, it's not like that. Connections are optical, SPDIF, and USB, and the outputs are so you can use it as a DAC only. But for that price, you should be able to. When you connect the outputs, the volume doesn't work. That's great. Once again, I love the feeling of the clicks and the friction on the volume control. It's an analog volume control. Beautiful color, how it feels. It's very nice. Don't worry, IFI, I'm gonna sanitize it after this. You see the buttons here. One is for the battery, but it actually is for the output. The Eco, which is obviously to say battery. And it's the least output, normal, and then turbo. Turbo, you're gonna need it with Sennheisers and other planar headphones, maybe like my Fostex, that are maybe harder to move. You can also use digital filters. Actually, in this case, I can hear the difference compared to other units. There's a standard, there's a minimum phase, and bit perfect. They recommend that you use some of these filters depending on the format, for PCM or DSD or MQA. The instructions are pretty easy to follow in this case, unlike other IFI products. It has a very interesting thing and important, which is the match for inner ear headphones. For this kind of headphones, IMs. This adapts to that, to those IEMs, and it lowers the volume and sensitivity, so your ears don't explode if you make a mistake. Also, it does seem to change the sound a little bit, sort of a gentler curve. Generally, when you use it in this normal setting, it's a pretty straight sound, very clear, very direct. Here's a normal 1/4, and then there's a 4.4 Pentacon balanced, which I'm embarrassed to say I still don't have a cable for that. Maybe I should get some for my Sennheiser 650s. Do they have them? Yeah. Then here you can see the morphine that iFi gives you. Once you use them, you can't go back. This is sweet, sweet, sweet candy. The extra bass and the 3D. I have said in the past that the 3D sounds to me like crossfeed. But in reality, in this case, it just opens the stage. Sometimes you want to use it off to concentrate on focus on voices better. If you're listening to a singer with a microphone that's very close and you want to hear the intimacy, then you keep it off. But if you're listening to an orchestra or a big ensemble and you want the size of the hall to get bigger, then you turn it on. It's a very marked differences, and both are great. But once you use both switches, you don't want to turn them off. That's the drug that iFi is giving you, and you can never back away from it. Although, for sleeping, when I listen to them in bed, I like to have the bass off. I don't want any interruptions. As you can see, the light is green. It's blinking because it's not connected. It's not receiving a signal. But it varies depending on the format that you're listening to and the oversampling. On DSD is important, also the oversampling color. Now let's talk about something that kind of bugs me. Is that thing. That connection for USB. Why? What are you doing? It's complicating our lives. iFi sent me a cable, which you have to use that. They say that it's safer, and also Ricardo Anton from iFi in Spanish, he assured me that this is so you can use it with the Apple cable. Lightning is supposed to be the best connection, faster, and all that stuff. I'm not an Apple user. I hate Apple. But he also sent me one so I could use it with Android. It also adapts to that OTG. And you can use it with the phone. Now, using it with the phone, I couldn't find a way to make the lights change with MQA and even using Tidal directly. Maybe it's my phone, my Sony Xperia 5. I don't know, but I would never use the phone with this. This is kind of an overkill. Let's see the box, what comes in the box. Mostly for portable use. First of all, there is this silicone sheet with the iFi logo on it, which we cannot see. And supposedly it's to put between the amp and your cell phone. I think it's ridiculous to use that with a cell phone. It's too big, it's too nice. If you're an executive and you're traveling, you're going to a hotel, city to city, or if you go on a vacation and you want to take your fancy headphones, then you take your laptop and you have an ultimate setup. Super duper. For example, I like to do needle drops. I have a channel, TRPD, in which I make recordings, because when I go away in the summers, in music festivals, when I'm in the hotel, I like to see my stereo play. And I listen to my favorite music. And I look at my stereo. So with the laptop and nice headphones, it's a great experience. Yeah, you can have your sound at home, sort of, while traveling, but not on the bus or the train. Let's look at what else is in here. Here's an adapter for fiber optic, Toslink. And a different kind of adapter for those of us who complain. You can use a USB 3 connection. And this little adapter is for charging it because it has a USB-C connection, which is only for charging. You can't use it to connect to the phone. And on this other box, you've got a nice case. You can use it for whatever you want, jewelry or whatever you watches, earrings. A nice adapter, very, very fancy to use it with the 3.5s. And also some rubbers to tie your phone to the amp. iDSD signature. I don't think so. This belongs in a nice, classy system. On your desk with a high-performance computer, or maybe in a little room or your bedroom. Easy to use. Great specifications. I've also connected it to my reference system with the micro Rendu and the Roon computer using Roon with great results. How does it sound? Let me tell you. The sound is so clear. You've heard me say things like cleaning the window, or there's no glass here. Everything is direct, very focused, and very transparent. Last night in bed, I was listening. I like to listen in bed at the end of the day when I'm more relaxed, and I play the same list. By the way, I have some new lists now on Tidal, Amazon Music, and on Prime Phonic. If you want to look for it, it's the Audiofilos y Locos, like the channel. That's the name of the playlist. It's stuff that I listen often to compare equipment. And I'm telling you, IFI always have this house sound. The grandma IFI sound signature. Always pleasurable. I don't hear any coloration. I feel excited when I listen to music with all of these IFI systems. I could talk to you about all the quality of the components, op amps, capacitors and resistors, and how much they spend money on it, and how expensive the parts are, the Burr-Brown converters. There's other channels where you can see that. But if you don't care about that and you just want to know how it sounds amazing. It's not cheap, $650. You're in the same range of a Denafrips. This is a high cost. Now why IFI? Why? The only time I've been upset about this kind of connector was with my X-Duo. You know I love this unit. It has an AKM chip. Also sounds great, but half the price. But also has this silly OTG connector. Really? Is it really that much better? Is it safer? IFI thinks that it's a more secure connection that's not going to break, protected. But this is just for traveling in your briefcase, your business case. You go safe to the hotel or your summer home, and there you put it on the table with your laptop. You're not going to be walking on the street with this thing. It's too big, and it's too nice. That one's good too, but there's no comparison. DX Duo has a nice display, although it's a little bit small and hard to read. This one has also a bass control and has 3 gain settings. And in this one, you can switch three inputs. This one only has a USB and a digital optical or SPDIF. Now there's no format that this won't play. Another thing that I didn't talk about is that both of these controls, bass and 3D, are in the analog domain. They're not messing with the DSP or with the DA conversion. It all happens after the conversion. And there's no noise. It's noiseless. Incredibly quiet. Very linear. Once you add the controls, the bass, then you add the home taste. And it's very good home cooking sounding. Ricardo told me that in Japan they had a demo in which they didn't tell people how they were amplifying the speakers. And no one could guess that they were using this unit. We're talking about 4 watts. 4 watts, it's a lot. That's completely unnecessary for an amplifier for headphones. But that also means that it can move mountains. Oh, the battery lasts forever. It's really great. You could take it on the weekend and spend the whole weekend listening to music, and you probably won't need to charge it, although it has a Type-C USB connection, like my phone. You can charge it anytime if you want. It's a great unit. It sounds great. I can imagine how IFI keeps making stuff. You know, IFI's biggest problem is IFI. They're their own enemies. They keep undercutting. They keep sawing the floor on their own products. They have the Zencan. You have the nano versions of this that are cheaper. And now I remember the hip DAC. That's like 100 and something. I haven't tried it, but I can see everybody loves it. So then what are you doing, IFI? Okay, what they're doing is providing the people with every product that they need. There isn't a part of the market. It's like Chi-Fi. They're producing and producing all kinds of models. And what's very interesting is that the price of this is the same, similar as the Neo iDSD. Finally, I can pronounce it. But I'll tell you there, this is better as an amplifier, but I wish I had Bluetooth like the Neo. I think I will probably choose the Neo, only because it has Bluetooth. Because for what I would use it, it's not for what I think it's made for. If I have a small room, a tiny little corner where I only have a couple of things, the Neo iDSD with the home signature sound from IFI, and it has Bluetooth. And you can also use it as a preamp with active speakers. So this is very specialized, and it has its market, and people love this product. It's so well made. It's like a block, like a brick of iron. Congratulations, IFI, for an incredible product showing excellence. And all the IFI products come with a lot of accessories. They're very generous. And of course, the specifications are incredible. They've got everything you can think of. They're for NASA scientists. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just beyond my scope. I don't even know some things. But I can tell you, last night I was listening to some stuff like Eric Clapton and other studio recordings. And sometimes when we listen to studio recordings or rock or maybe jazz or even like chamber music, classical chamber music, you sometimes, with some DACs and other equipment, you see the picture. You see the whole picture from a distance. Here, I felt like I was sitting next to the studio musicians, like the presence. this has a very emotional effect on you when you're listening to music. You say to yourself, I can't believe it. I can't believe this sounds so great, because you're always going to underestimate it when you look at it. It has no relationship to how it sounds. It's glorious. For me, the format is something that I can never get into. It's not for people of my generation. It's for young people, people who want to be on the move, who want to be from one place to another, who want to travel. But you have to give merit where merit is due. If you're looking for something at this price, $650, there's a lot of competition, including their own IFI products. Within the same brand, they've got all kinds of options, and this is one of them. Beautiful, well-made, good options, especially if you use IAMs, balanced armature. I highly recommend it. You really need to use this if you have IAMs, because this makes IAMs, even the KZ10 Pros I have, makes them sound good. Thank you very much for watching. Tonight, I'm going to do the unboxing of the new iDSD Diablo at midnight. Tonight, midnight, New York time. I'll probably be alone, but see you there.